This is Jake Bruton.
Hi, everybody.
In addition to being extremely knowledgeable on building science and an excellent high-performance home builder, he also likes to do things like this.
Take a bite!
To distract me when I'm making videos. Nevertheless, we were finally able to get through this short but informative video on air sealing a building envelope. Take a look at it. Hope you enjoy it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff.
I've seen this in a lot of Reisinger build stuff, a lot of videos that I see online. I don't ever see this in the field where I work. Like in the stuff that I do, the production build stuff, we don't see anything like this. This is the one wire, one thing per hole mentality, right? So you drill a hole, you stick one thing in it, and that's it. Where I come from, they make a large hole and everything goes through there, and so you've got a very large penetration and a lot of space for air to come in, water to come in, things like that. What we have here is some electrical wires coming through, some Romex, and we have one hole per wire, correct?
Yeah. It is absolutely a challenge, and I always describe it as like if you were to try to put your hand in a hole like that and then not have air leak through your fingers, like it's just impossible. You can't, you're not gonna seal that. And I've even had conversations with, at the time when my dad worked for me, and he's like, this is a waste of time. And like, it's a hard thing to convince your subcontractors to do. And it's a real pushback. It's one of the things when we started doing air sealing to the max that people are like, this is a waste of our time. But try sealing two things that are through one hole together. It's way more difficult than that.
Well, it's kind of the same concept, not in terms of air sealing, but whenever you're attaching electrical wires to, say, a lug, and you have two wires in one lug, that's not going to make a good connection. And so it's a similar thing, but we're talking about air sealing here. Now, one thing I did notice, though, was there's at least one or two of these up here that do not have any foam around them.
Yeah, fair enough. It only works when you get them all.
Yeah, true. So I think you should probably get up. Well, you're gonna make me do it.
Yeah, you get to go up the ladder.
You're gonna make me do it. Okay. All right. Let's seal them up then. You can tell Matt to. I'll send him an invoice. Maybe I won't for how sloppy I'm doing.
Get the right ones.
I got the right ones. Man, it's like trying to fish around this stuff to get them all sealed. All right, I think I got it.
Is this an exterior wall then?
Well, I would figure it to be an exterior wall, or is that the garage?
That is the garage, so that makes it still an exterior wall in my mind. So that's one of the non-stop arguments that we have on our job sites. It is outside the conditioned space. It's outside the realtor space.
True.
It's outside our air control layer. And the way that we describe that to our team members and to our framers and to the team that's doing air sealing is if we didn't put a garage door on that and it was just a carport, that would make it outside the building envelope, and there would be no discussion about whether or not that space was outside or inside. Just because we're putting a garage door on it, people start going, well, that's inside, And so that air control layer that in this instance is Zip R, that didn't happen 15 years ago on any house in the country, it felt like, because that was inside space on the other side of that.
Right, and while it's going to be more comfortable in there than a typical garage, it's not air conditioned, and so there is a substantial temperature difference between out there and in here, or there should be.
Yeah, just because it's this odd interstitial space between the actual outdoors and the actual indoor conditioned space doesn't mean that it's inside space.
Right. It's certainly not livable space.
Yeah. And the one thing per hole is not just wires, it's plumbing penetrations.
Right, everything.
It's hose bibs, whatever you want to talk about. That simplicity of, if you're going for an airtight home, that's an easy way to cut down on air leaks very quickly.
No, I think it's a good system. I'd like to see that a whole lot more, but it's going to be a long time before that starts making it into production builds.
And the one last tip is that one hole is not made by a hammer.
Yeah.
That one hole is
all holes in production are made by hammer. Not really, but I mean, like, I literally see holes in, like, you're cutting a small hole the size of what you're sending through it and sending one thing through it. I see holes that are rectangular shape for a plumbing cleanout.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we're just making a gaping hole in the weather barrier and in the weather resistant barrier. Like, how's that ever going to do its job? Why are we setting it up for failure? They're using this cardboard sheathing, they're cutting massive holes in the side of it, and they are doing a poor job of sealing or not sealing at all. And so we're just not giving an inferior product even a chance to do it.
Yep.